Hey y'all, how you doing? I'm here, we're recording, this is a 1991 Jayco pop-up camper. And we're going to kind of show some ways, certain things that gets done to get it put up, but we're going to do it in reverse because we're taking it down. We didn't have any way to find out before and was figuring it out, so this is what we're doing. Which, this inside of it, it's got a full king-size bed in it there, sink, stove, refrigerator. We got a bed and table, another bed there. And if you see, trying to figure out the best way to start this, it's got certain pieces that go underneath the front, and then there's certain pieces that go underneath the back of this that hold both of these sleeper beds up. There's feet on it all the way around it. That'd probably be the last thing to be dealt with. As to when you're taking it apart, probably the first thing that you want to do when you put it back up is put your feet down so you get your camper level and you're not bouncing all over the place trying to get everything done. Now in here, we got a table that sits on a rod, and you got cushions. Your cushions just slide out. Set them off to the side. And the table, it sits on a foot and a rod that's bolted to the table. So we lifted the table off of here. Which you won't cooperate whenever you try to do it on film, of course. Go ahead and pick it up and I'll pull your table rod out and just kind of lay that off to the side. You gotta fold down. It's got a little bungee cord that holds it. And then it'll lay down and it'll slip right into this lock here. There's where it makes your bed whenever you're making a bed out of it. Nice and flat, extra bed. And then we have our stove and our sink. And our stove and our sink actually folds over. So when you open it, it'll be folded all compact. See the latch right there? And the whole thing just turns directly over. And lays right on top of this table, see? Which makes everything flat. Now, the last thing that we did when we put this up, well, one of the last things probably would be the doorway. So this doorway, get back off here so we can see it. See the door? How's this door work, Ron?
Okay. We have to pull these out. They snap into the groove right here. You bend them backwards. So get the door out. You gotta pop those out to start with.
And seals it down through there.
And then you really have to do this from the inside. If you close it.
Okay.
And when this door frame goes down and it stays with this upper part, see these little slots here?
Yep.
That slot. Each side you want to be in that like that.
So it needs to be.
I got to close this door
to be able to get this door to release. I'll go ahead and shut it. It went ahead and come out of its pin over there. Okay. And so it's pulling out over here. And you got it.
And it pivots up. And there's some that goes back up there. And then there's some wing nuts. Wing nuts here that you got to turn 90 degrees.
Okay.
That hold that up.
And that holds that right against the top of the roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. I was thinking I think you use these when it comes down. You can.
Those are whenever you bring it down and lock the door into place.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the last things we did when we put it up was we ran around and found all the bungee cords on the underneath of the beds, which that keeps all of your canvas taut around the sides of it. So these are under here. There's one. Here's another one. And they just pick right off. Here's another one.
They snap into those little buttons.
They got a little button hole that it goes around like this. See, we put it around there like that and like that. And these come off. And this one comes off. And then we got these on the back too, Ron, don't we? Yeah, see, they're back here. They start out at the very back of the camper. There's one. I can get a picture of it. Where I'm at, there I am. You got one over there. And then these just pop right off here. Like this. And I'm seeing here 3 up here too. So now we got this. It's all loose. This is all loose.
We have to take these loose. They're just Velcro.
Kind of cleans them up, makes them look fancy so they don't look. And they were just kind of tucked in there so they can fold up. With the others.
I guess you take those out.
Yeah, I think that was one of the. I put them on there when we was putting it up, but. So now we got all the canvases loose.
I'd say
I would
take the braces out.
I'd say take let's do the braces on the inside first, Ron, on each end. So we'll start at the back, in the inside of it.
And they'll be labeled.
There's got one in the back on your smaller bed. Right there, it slides in that latch. Pull it out. It brings it loose.
This has a hole and there's a plastic socket that goes inside of this like that.
Okay.
And then it just folds. This just folds down.
And the middle tube just folds right down there, on there. And then on the back, on the bottom, you've got 2 along the bottom here that stick in right underneath the inside of the bumper. So, you gonna do these here while we're doing this end?
Yeah.
It kind of helps when we put it up. I kind of held it for him, so I'm gonna pick up on it a little bit. But probably just fell right out.
One thing I want to do is kind of slide these in partially.
We'll slide that in just a little bit. That way she's not out there hanging on itself. Now we're going to do the front ones the same way. But it's got 3 rods. Now these rods, the center one is marked as a center. And then got kind of a U shape at the end of it.
Yeah, it's marked center. We're going to remark them too.
And then there's one on each corner on this king size bed. There's one, and then you got another one over here in this corner. All still in those same kind of slide rails. You basically got to throw them in the floor.
Yeah, I won't put them in the floor right now. I'm just setting them up here.
Yeah, there's just that one. So on these here, when we put this together, we had to do the inside ones that's close to the camper first, and then these outside ones. And now these will fall out the same way the other one did. Let me get my camera going down here. Got it.
A little bit more. You can push up just a little bit more.
Hold on a second. Yeah. You pause this a minute. I just want to make sure we were still going there. Okay, so we got them 2 out. I'm gonna push in on it just a touch. There we go. Now he's got 2 more down there.
Can you lift up on it?
Uh-huh.
These are kind of snug to get in, out.
Get the next one.
Okay, I'm going to push it in a little bit.
Now I'm gonna push this in a little bit. We only got a whole lot of weight on it. Okay. So now see, when you start unfolding her, she's gonna be looking like that. Okay, when you're cranking this up, there's a cable on it. You can see this little red cable. See it right here? And basically, you get it up to where you don't want to make it really taut. You just want to, that's going to give you a distance on how far to crank it. So there's a crank port on the front right here.
And it's marked to the right. Clockwise is up.
Clockwise is up,
Yeah.
and down. So we've got the fronts folded in. We've got the back ones folded in.
So we got to push them in.
So now we need to push these in. I mean, like with any kind of material, you want to kind of do it where it looks, it'll fold up all right, I imagine. And that just pushes right into there. And it'll push all the way in there. See where the rail is. It's got a locking spot. All your canvas in. And then the same thing will work on the front side. rod kind of get kept into the thing, so we want to keep our rod out because our rod was laying flat on the bed by itself. Pull that canvas back up. And I'll slip this rod. See the rod's falling down? Just pull the canvas, let it fold inside that canvas. It's got to go inside of it. At this point you can reach underneath, but you're seeing inside of it. I know you guys got to, there we go, get that canvas off that rod there. Now the rods should be laying flat on the bed. And you go ahead and push the canvas on in. And then it should. Let's pull it down just a touch.
So long.
Are we clearing it on the inside? Because it should clear back a little bit. Yeah, it's got these rails that slide right on in. We'll put it on there again. It's kind of crooked a little bit, maybe that's
I
what.
think we got it covered.
All right, whenever we were pushing this together, here's something you ought to learn on these things anyway. These guys, that goes on the inside, and this one comes on the outside. Or that'll stop that from sliding all the way in. We haven't tried to slide it all the way in yet, but it should slide right on in just like that. So now we've got both units slid in, got our canvases in, got our bungees, pretty much everything taken care of. Looks like one big flat solid bed in here. I'll straighten out our canvases a little bit.
I think we can crank her down.
And you go back up here and start cranking her down and closing her up. Now while he's doing that, I'm gonna walk around here and I'm gonna go ahead and try to push these windows and stuff in, see we're trying to keep it in level. Trying to keep her flat. That way that stuff folds down there good on them windows. There we go. He'll keep cranking on down. We got these little feet here, we need to kind of tuck them over here inside this material. That way that they're tucked inside that vinyl. If you see, you can take this one, tuck this over here. We got two more of them over here, so we better go check these. We'll go check these, and we got to tuck them in there. We got one right here, we got to tuck this one in there. And she keeps collapsing. Got to keep checking, make sure all our material's inside. We'll check our windows over here. This over here. Make sure that's in. This is in. It's tucking in good. Walk back around here and we'll make sure everything's tucked in good over here. It's looking good. Make sure that's in there. You probably want to take this wire and set him in here where he's this inside. That's our, remember that wire, that's our wire. It tells us how far to go up.
We have to press it down a little bit because of all the
Canvas kind of holding it up a little bit. Yep. Okay, we did notice that you got to kind of set on it whenever you go to put it down because it's canvas and all that. You got these latches around here. You got these 4 little latches right there. And on each corner, that's where you lock it down to lock down the roof of it. That's the first thing you'll unlock. If you want to come over here a minute, Ron, these latch show these people, whoever's watching this, that latch, it just leans down and then comes right like that. So it's made to where you put...
You can put a wire tie in here when you're traveling if you want, so it wouldn't pop open.
Yep.
If you wanted to. I haven't had any problems with it.
So the last thing it is these, it's got 4 jacks around it. And you'll see these jacks right here.
They just tilt up. And then the handle crank.
You got that lever and that pulls your foot up.
You push this down and you bring the lower foot down to where you want it. And you raise it up. And then you pull it down. There's a little detent here. You pull down like that, and then they snap back up in place.
All right, well, that's how you disassemble it if you take all this in reverse. Go the opposite direction. You've seen her all put together, seen how we took it apart, so hopefully that'll help you on getting her put back together. And happy camp.